So a very good afternoon everyone, and welcome back for another Republic of Motorsport League Racing Series. This is the Italian Grand Prix. We are really deep into the season now, and as you can see we've got a short qualifying format today, so just over 17 and a half minutes for today's qualification session here around the beautiful Temple of Speed, the Monza circuit here, one of the classics on the calendar, and we've got 15 great drivers here for you today. So sorry it's been a while, we've been away, but we're back again for some more comms action, and everyone is going out quite early on in the session. Let's just pull up the statistics here. Celtic Speed, the only man opting for a medium. We're looking at probably a one-stop Grand Prix here, so it won't be too surprising if we see most of the drivers do go out on the softer compound of tyre. Pull the stream up, let me know if you hear me loud and clear, boys and girls. Share the stream out, make sure you hop on board. We're going to ride on board with the owner himself, Mr. Rooney 2003, because he is in the fight for the championship here, and it's currently Stubbsy that leads the way in terms of the drivers' standings. He's on 276 points. He's had 8 wins, 10 poles, 7 fastest laps, and he's on 276 points. 6 points clear of this man, Rooney 2003. He's on 270 points. He's had 4 wins, 2 pole positions, and 2 fastest laps. Then there's a big step. We've got ROM, the sister Mercedes, on 154 points, 116 behind the leader. And yeah, he's had 1 win to his name and 1 fastest lap. And then we've got James. And we've got Celtic Speed, K-Mag, Westerns, Drazzy, Ludlow, Yanni Jans, Aki, AMG, Dunsworth, Dacey, Vettel, Bruntastrup, Oaks, Strato, Fulham, Givada, Hez, and a few others who haven't actually started the Grand Prix by looking at it. But let's ride on board for our lap as we enter into the Lesmos here. Lesmo 1, be quite patient. Lesmo 2 could really catch you out if you take too much of that exit bit. Looking like we're going for a banker lap here with Rooney. He's not really pushing it too hard. Say that. He's making it look easy, boys. Making it look nice and easy. We come through Ascari, another. Oh, we got a big. Oh, we get a big moment. Rooney's round. He just saved it. That was almost catastrophe there. Oh, the commentator's curse riding on board with Rooney, and he almost bins it. And Stubbsy already kicks us off with a sizzling 18.237. That is a hot stuff, baby, and a very good lap as well for Westerns, a 19.2. James pops up with a 19.4. That's where I'd be around. Then we got Yanni Jans on a 120.1. Let's pull up the tyres. I do apologise. Who else is about to finish a lap? Let's have a look at Vettel. He has opted for the medium compound of tyre. Comes into Ascari, maybe get a cheeky toe off the car ahead. He's backed out actually. We've got no ERS, so maybe he's going for a second push lap. I'm about to find out. Yeah, here we go as we fly on down to the first chicane here. You're going to want to hook that inside right over the curb nicely as we do here. Not too much of the second one. A big sausage curve can put you off. Some people can take it. All depends on the setup there. And it's looking good so far for Vettel as we come through the Curva Grande. This is where a lot of drivers will be getting in the slipstream, and they're sending it into the second chicane here. Again, use a nice bit of curb across there. You need to carry as much speed as possible. And then we're coming into Lesmo 1. Dip it in, down to 4th gear, back up to 5th on the power. Use as much of that exit curb as you dare, and don't get too greedy on that entry curb, and we just grab a little bit of speed off there. We come into the second DRS point here around the back straight. We rocket down in towards the Ascari chicane now. You can see we're going to flick left, flick right, flick left again, and it's about keeping your foot in it, being smooth on the controls, and we're coming through quite nicely here. But so far it's Stubbsy, Westerns, Thornhalf, James, Jack, Yadians, Aki, Vettel. Vettel's first lap. Who's just winding it up, and as he comes up to the line, and he's going to pop himself 19.7 on the meets, quite representative. Not a bad lap at all, sir. Mag has came out. Unsworth has invalidation. Let's see if Rooney can hook it up this time, boys and girls. Let's have a look-see. So the track will be evolving all the time. I mean, the track will be at its quickest, weather dependent, of course, come the end of the session. But we're looking good so far. As the Sister Merc of Lawn just comes out the garage. Rooney using a lot of the curve there, but doesn't invalidate, does very well. Just riding on an off-board here just to appreciate some of the tempo of speed and the beautiful surroundings here at Monza. And we've got a purple Sector 1. It curves nicely. So easy to kick up the gravel there, and as we chuck it in, you really got to be committed there. It's a very much point and squirt track. And this will be killer around this circuit in terms of penalties throughout the Grand Prix. And if you have gone for that more qualifying setup, you know, maybe a bit less of wing, etc., will come back to bite you during the Grand Prix. You won't have that same consistency, especially when you've got a full tank and you're coming out that exit of the Ascari chicane there. As we come on up to Parabolica, tip it in down into fifth gear on the power nicely. Run out as wide as you dare, use as much road as possible, then cut to the inside. And we come up to the line with Rooney. He pops himself up with an 18.9. So quite a big step there to Stubbsy. And we've got some work to do, boys. So we've got the Scarlet Ferrari here. The homeboy, AB Drazzy. Is it going to be Drizzy? Right, Drake, what's he going to do here? Currently yet to set a lap time, as well as K-Mag Lawn, Celtic Speed and Dunsworth. And he's looking good through Sector 2. That's a purple Sector 2 for the Ferrari. It's all about carrying as much speed as you dare through here. Getting that average lap time as low as possible. He comes around the final corner and up to the line for the Ferrari driver. The sole Ferrari. And that's a 19.7 for his opening attempt. We've got Lawn currently on an outlap. No, on a lap, shall we say. Get it right, Reg. Get it right. 9 minutes remaining. Hello, Max. It's me, David. Hello, David. This is Richard. How are you doing today? At the final corner for Lawn. Still got a bit of ERS to spare as he crosses the line, and that is a good lap time. That's a 19 dead, and that's good enough for third fastest, where he is in the championship at the moment as well. So being consistent as ever is Lawn. Remember, the fastest lap time will be the tyre that you start on the start of the Grand Prix. If you do know the weather conditions for this one, please do let us know. Remember to follow Republic of Motorsport as well over on the YouTube channel, ROM official. Get over there, make sure you show some love, give a subscribe to the channel. Rooney would much appreciate that, as well as all the boys and the effort they put into the league. And if you're interested in joining, you fancy a go at some of these lads, do get in touch with Rooney 2003. He is your league admin. And Dunsworth, the Renault driver. Let's see what he can put on the board. Scrub off a bit of speed there. So K-Mag, Celtic Speed and Dunsworth yet to set lap times. Not using too much curb there through the Scaria compared to some of the other drivers. And that is a monumental lap time for Stubbsy to kick us off with. I think he's out there again. Let's hope he doesn't improve too much, boys. Oh, Max is huge. What's this? You're watching on your Xbox whilst chatting on your phone. Well, tune in, kick back, relax, boys. Invite the friends and family in. Let's boost these numbers up. We've got a good grid of drivers here, and the Italian Grand Prix never fails to disappoint. And Dunsworth has done a 120.0. And Stubbsy, calm down, mate. Calm down. Okay, let's wind it back. I know we had a racing point on pole today on the front row. It didn't work out too well for him, but damn, that's a 17.9. He's in the 17s. He's in a different county, boys and girls. Wow, wowee. And Celtic Speed, big up yourself. Look at that, 19006, 006, not 007 here. Is he a double agent in that Williams? That is a good, impressive performance. Vettel just pops up there into the 18s. Very good from you as well, sir. Impressive. Very close to Mr. Rooney. He's going to be getting a sweat on now because he's got about a second to make up to try and get on pole position here. So who else is on a push lap? Let's go check in. Celtic is invalidated. Mr. Weston's in the Alpha Tauri, of course on home turf. The Italian outfit, formerly known as Toro Rosso. Rebranded Alpha Tauri after the fashion brand. Got some great merch as well, do they have? And it's a purple Sector 2. Purple Sector 2s can be indication of maybe a bit more conservative in terms of the setup, maybe a bit more on the rear end in terms of wing, etc. Ludlow is out. And Weston's 19.2 is best lap time so far. K-Mag still in pit lane. I've just come in. So you've got 4.5 minutes, boys. 4.5 minutes remaining of this short qualifying format. And is anyone pushing? I think Yanni Young is going to be the next one to go scenario 7. Stubbsy only did an 18.1 for P2 last week in ABR. I mean, yeah, that is something, stuff. I mean, that is fire. That's fire in the cockpit. You need to get that extinguisher out, because this guy is sizzling. Here comes Yanni Jans up to Parabolica. Gonna hook it up around the final corner. Gonna have the foot planted. I think it's something mad. Let's get the stats up from Monza. Love this track. Never fails to disappoint. Always action-packed. It's just a send fest. We go down into turn 1. So careful on the power out there. So easy to kick it out with such low aero. Let's see what the sector 1 time is going to bring. So he is a 10th up. There we are, negative on the delta, negative on the delta. Scary. Nice and confident there. Scrubbed a bit on the mid part of the corner. Here we go. I'm going to cut away just a second because I might have a sidekick, boys. I might have a sidekick. We are back in action. Yeah, we've got 2 minutes remaining. This will be time for everyone to start coming out of pit lane. Their final attack. Final go at it now. And yeah, huge task there for pole position. I mean, you're just going to try and get the front row by the look of it. That's looking tight battle. Rooney an 18.9, Vettel an 18.9, and 19 dead for Celtic Speed as well as Lawn. 4 not too far away either. We've got enough in the tank here for K-Mag. Oh! Sizzling for the other host here. The Alfa Romeo on home turf, an 18.8. Very nice. Nice and spicy. Well done, Mr. Fawn. I haven't seen much of you before, so I'm very impressed so far. Just under a minute remaining here in the short qualifying. Stubbsy currently on pole position. Can anyone take that huge step forward? Personally, I highly doubt it, but we're about to find out. Mr. Connerbeer, are you here? Hello, hello. Very well, my friend, very well. We're here for Republic of Motorsport today. We've got a common friend in the lobby, which is ABR Stubbsy. You'll know him from Tier 1, of course. He's doing pretty well recently. He's currently on pole position so far. Not long to go in qualifying.
Been a good session so far. Have I missed anything interesting?
No, not too many people have bottled it, as is customary around the Monza circuit. If you want to have a bit of a chill back, so I'm just going to test check the playback audio.
Let's see then who's on a lap. Well, we've got our provisional pole sitter ABR Stubbsy on a lap at the moment. As I think Vettel has just retired as he binned it at Ascari. Looks like he has. We've already got someone who's bottled it. Ascari keeps it clean, nice and tidy. Uses the curbs, not anything validated this lap. That will be qualifying over for Stubbsy, but I don't think anyone at the moment is improving on their time. Got the Mercedes of Rooney coming up to the line. He'll be next to try and take the provisional pole away from Stubbsy. He gets close, but not close enough. Rooney goes into P2, and I think that everyone else has either already finished their lap or backed off.
James just improves and puts himself up into position 7 with a 19 dead. Yeah, and it's pretty close at the front of the order, apart from Mr. Stubbs, of course, which is just in a different dimension right now. But yeah, it's going to be an interesting Grand Prix. Like I keep saying, boys, Monza will not disappoint. It's always a fan's favourite, and today will be no different.
17.9, that is a phenomenal time from Stubbsy. 7/10 clear of anyone.
He said in the chat, in the ABR Tier 1, he got P2 last week at Italy, and he done an 18.1. He just smashed that even.
Wow.
So it finishes ABR Stubbsy on pole position with that 17.987, and then it's 7/10 back. We've got Rooney, then Celtic Speed, Westerns, 4.5, Vettel, James, Lawn, Drazzy, Aki, Ludlow, K-Mag, Yanni Jans, Dunsworth, and Jack Miles rounding out the grid for the Italian Grand Prix. So yeah, in terms of the championship, Stubbsy leads the way, Matt. He's got a 6-point gap over Rooney, and then we've got from Rooney down about 150-point gap to Lawn. So them two are the cut above the rest, Rooney and Stubbsy, and the rest are scrapping over P3 by the looks of it.
So tensions are going to be high on the run down to turn 1 then, with the championship leaders side by side.
Yeah, they do like to get the elbows out. That was evident from the first Grand Prix. I remember I covered the Australian Grand Prix, and it was like the last corner, it was like, send it. And the stewards had to get involved for that one. We've had some great battles over the season so far, and we're getting straight into it because a few of the boys, Jack and Fawn, have readied up, as well as Rooney. So, yeah, it's about to pop off.
Have we got anyone on a different strategy then? Have we got medium runners maybe? Anyone in the top 10 qualify on that tyre?
That's a good point, actually. I'm not quite sure. I think one of them did go out on it, but I think they did convert later onto the softs. But we'll have a quick run through. No, everyone on the soft compound apart from Ludlow in P11. We've got the free tyre choice, and we will start on that medium tyre.
We'll see how that works out for Ludlow then. Should be a fairly simple one-stop race, soft to mediums, but going long in that first stint might pay off, and then having the softs on the low fuel.
Yeah, it looks like it'll be a clear day here for the Grand Prix. Not quite sure if any lightning will strike or we're going to have any adverse weather. It's looking pretty good. What did you make of the Grand Prix today, Matt?
It was a really good race. I feel a bit bad for Lance Stroll. After that late pit stop, he just didn't have the pace. I don't know whether he couldn't get the tyres warmed up or couldn't keep them cool or what, but they just weren't working for him. Very happy for Vettel getting the podium.
Oh, super chuffed. Right at the death as well. Leclerc was so dejected with that. But yeah, we've got a racing point on the front row. Will it be the same again? Will the pink Mercedes be able to convert it this time? Or will it be the black Mercedes behind him of Rooney, which will pounce on any mistake, any poor strategy call, and get the dub? We're about to find out.
Rooney is backing them up a lot here. He's not going to let Stubbsy have what he wants at the start here, although Stubbsy does properly back them up there. I thought that Rooney was just going to drive into the back of him on the formation lap, but we are looking all good now at the start of the Italian Grand Prix.
And you can call it if you want, my friends. The start of this one. Hand over to Matt from Conabert. Thank you for joining me here today.
No worries. Sorry, I saw your message a bit late. I opened it and I was like, oh crap, I've missed him. But we're all good. We're all here now and we are all ready to go for the Italian Grand Prix. The leaders pulling into their grid slots then. Stubbsy on pole, Rooney alongside. That slipstream down to turn 1. It's a long run to the first corner. Can Rooney tuck in behind, get that slipstream and make a move into the opening chicane? We are all on the grid, all ready to go then. And we wait for the lights, which are going on now ahead of the drivers. 5 lights. And it's lights out where we go. It's a good start from Stubbsy. Looks like he's got the better of Rooney off the line, and he does. Immediately moves over to cover the inside line. Rooney will have to look to the outside. He's going to go for it late on the brakes. Can he hold it round the outside? He's surely gone too deep. Has to mount the curb. So Stubbsy leads from Rooney. Then comes Weston's and Celtic Speed. Although Stubbsy's made a mistake, he's lost traction on the exit of the first chicane, and that's allowed Rooney to get through. Now Stubbsy will come under pressure from the Alpha Tauri. Can the AlphaTauri have a look down the outside? That is Weston. No, he can't. And he now loses the back end. Nearly loses more places. Rooney leads from Stubbsy. And it's Weston's Celtic speed. Vettel's making up places on the Alfa Romeo of Thorn. Then it's James, Akil, Lorne, and Drazy to round out the top 10.
Oh, we already have a casualty. We have lost Jack. How does that happen? Oh dear. On the exit of Lesmo 1, it's just a local yellow. No, it's a full safety car. Now, that didn't take long, did it?
No.
Lap 1, full safety car here at Monza. We said it doesn't fail to disappoint. We've already had high drama. And it's Rooney who has snuck into the lead of the Grand Prix for this one. And Stubbsy will be kicking himself. He's done all that hard work in qualifying, and that's been undone already here on lap 1 of the Italian Grand Prix.
You'd think it's going to be too early for anyone to make that first pit stop, but we'll see it. No, Rooney disagrees. He's come straight into the box at the end of lap 1. So has, who's that? Is that Weston's? We have a few guys coming to the pits, presumably for a set of hard tyres to try get to the end. Rooney's gone mediums.
It's mediums. Wow, interesting strat here.
I think that's a bit of a stretch.
Maybe looking at a 2-stop. Who knows? Let's pull up the tyres. Yeah, everyone who's pitted has gone on to that medium. They must know something we don't, Matt.
Obviously. I would have thought that it'll be too challenging to get mediums to the end of the race. Maybe there's some rain we don't know about in the distant future. It doesn't look like it. We've got beautiful blue skies. We'll find out in the coming 26 laps.
So as always, please do excuse the telemetry that we have here, because always at the end of the first lap it likes to jump forward to lap 3, and it's not until we get to lap 3 that the game kind of decides that everything is back in ship-shape order as it should be. But it's Stubbsy who leads the way in the racing point, and yes, we do have the Williams behind him, currently sitting in P2, and then Vettel, Fawn, Aki, Lorne, Drazy, K-Mag, Low, Yanni Jans, Dunsworth and Rooney all the way down in 12th after that early pit stop, as well as Westons and James have also made maybe their only stop of the afternoon, because it'll be a long way to the flag now.
We should be able to tell what kind of strategy those guys will be doing quite early on. If they push pretty hard, we can assume that they're going to be doing that 2-stop and pitting again. But if we see them drop off the back of the pack, and I think someone else is just probably some pits. It's a Renault of, I'm not even going to try and pronounce his name.
Dunsworth? That's how I pronounce it, Dunsworth.
There we go. Dunsworth, also going mediums. They're all quite confident on their tyre saving abilities, I will say that. Should get back to green flag running at the end of this lap. As long as Dunsworth can catch the back of the pack. He should be able to, because he's only a few hundred metres behind them. And it will be Stubbsy who will lead them away off the start. Head of Celtic Speed. Celtic will be looking to try and make a move as early as he can. He didn't have the pace in qualifying to match Stubbsy. We'll see what the race pace is like.
It's going to be nice with this split strategy come at the end of the Grand Prix, because Stubbs is going to have the fresh tyres, and them cars who were pitted early, they're really going to be struggling later on in the Grand Prix.
Absolutely they will be. We'll see if that strategy pays off for them. And the message is out. Safety car will come in at the end of this lap. It is up to Stubbsy. He becomes the effective safety car. He can back the field up as much as he wants for getting ready to go racing. The start of lap 4 here at Monza. All weaving, just trying to get that temperature up in the tyres. You don't want to get caught out on a safety car restart with cold tyres and drop the back end. It's so easy to do at the Parabolica. Speaking of the Parabolica, Stubbsy has made his way around now, and you can expect him to hit the throttle at any moment. And there it is. Stubbsy hits the throttle, and we are racing once again at Monza. Vettel's picked up 5 seconds. As we look down the order, the leaders seem to be holding station, but I think Drazzy looks to get the move done on Lawn. He's close. He's gaining. Looks to the inside. He's going for it. Late on the brakes, down the inside into turn 1. Uses plenty of curb above the outside for turn 2. Gets the better traction and moves up into P6.
Oh, yes,
Dropped the rear end there, and I thought he was about to spin into the barriers. Keeps it together. That's going to allow the Mercedes to maybe have another look. RSF1 Vettel's gone down the inside, but the Williams, they're fighting for P2. Couldn't get the move done into the chicane, but gets a good run as they now head into the first Lesmo. Vettel then down the inside into the first Lesmo, takes P2 away from Celtic. Celtic will have to check behind, make sure he's not coming under pressure from the Alfa Romeo.
And you know who's loving this? Stubbsy already has 1.7's gap, so he's already broken out the DRS, and this is going to be crucial to try and gap himself to Rooney, and Rooney is already up to position 9 off the restart. We haven't really been catching up with him, but he's a man possessed, and yeah, making up the places early on off the restart.
Ludlow dropped a couple of places on that restart, just struggling to, I guess, get some warm up in those slightly worn mediums compared to the soft runners ahead of him. He will come into his own towards the end of this race where he hits the soccer compound. We've got a lovely slipstream train here as they head down towards turn 1, and I think Celtic is going to have a look on Vettel. Can't get the move down into turn 1. Holding station behind. Keeping it neat and tidy. You don't want to break your front wing so early on. Speaking of broken front wings, Westons is in the pits for a new front wing. Yanni is also in the pits. Something's gone wrong for them on the restart. They're both putting the hard tyres on. They will for sure then be going to the end of the race.
Well, first time penalty for track limits goes to Ludlow by the look of it. It's 3 seconds that will be added to the end of his race if he's not yet pitted. Which he will make it. Oh, sorry, it will be added to the end of the race, of course, Rich. So yeah, Stubbsy is absolutely checked out. 2.8 seconds the gap now at the front of the order, and yeah, he's absolutely checked out. Here we go. So here around Monza, you're on the throttle 84% of the lap. It's the lowest downforce circuit on the calendar, and the slipstream really matters, so you just need to stay within that 1 second window. You can save that ERS, save a bit of fuel, be able to send it where you want. Talking of DRS, now activated the drag reduction system. That little letterbox on the rear wing will now be available if you're within 1 second of the car in front.
That might prove costly, but Vettel, who is not in the RS range of Stubbsy, has checked out at the front. He's got a 3 second margin. The guys behind. The thing is, if you're Celtic, do you want to make that move on Vettel? Because all you're going to do is find yourself without the DRS and probably falling back behind in a matter of laps.
No, you don't really, because you're just going to be, you know, fish in a barrel. You're just going to be shot down at the first available opportunity. And Drazzy is now getting close to the car in front of him of Aki. We've got a nice little battle looking like K-Mag as well here. Here comes Drazzy as they come up to the Ascari chicane, and the Ferrari driver on his home turf says, "That's my position, baby," and that is P5 for the Ferrari driver.
Good move from Drazzy. McLaren not fighting it too hard, and he's now got the Mercedes. With Lawn looking to the inside as they're heading towards the Parabolica. He uses a little bit of overtake just to make sure he can take track position going into the corner, but leaves plenty of space, and that's going to allow Lawn to get a good run on the inside, and he'll move up into P6. McLaren loses 2 places in the space of 2 corners.
And Rooney's creeping on back up. And here comes the McLaren driver of Aki. He's going to go to the outside. He's going to have to go the long way around. And yes, sorry, Rooney is just behind this battle here. Already made his pit stop. And I'm sure the 2 Mercedes will not fight this one too hard. Let's see if Lawn gives up the position. He was coming back, he wants another bite at the McLaren, and he goes round the inside into the next corner. Gonna get it stopped under brakes. Nice move there.
See if Rooney can follow suit in the coming corners. He doesn't want to get held up on those mediums. He made that early pit stop. And judging by how hard he's pushing, I should imagine he won't go to the end on these tyres. Engages overtake then in the slipstream. DRS wide open, looking to try and gain on the McLaren, but can't do it on the run to Ascari. Will have to tuck in behind as Aki picks up a 3-second penalty. That might prove costly come the end of the race. Rooney just looks like he's got the pace at this stage of the race.
Yeah, them soft tyres will be starting to fade. Of course, they've got 6 laps in the race, but of course they will have the qualifying laps and mileage on them as well. And here comes Rooney. He's got it done even before the DRS is activated, and he's going to fly on by. The McLaren's going to tuck back in and get the slipstream as we head down into turn 1. Is the McLaren going to come back and send it? He's going to have to do it around the outside, and yeah, good driving there from the Mercedes of Rooney. He's now got his teammate up ahead of him. We've also got a fast charging K-Mag who wants a piece of that McLaren.
Stubbsy just extending his advantage out front. He's pulling away at the top of the charts. That's holding on nicely to that P2. Celtic and Williams not looking to make the move early on. Wants to keep that ERS, save his battery, save his fuel, and maybe wait for a later opportunity. I am intrigued to see what kind of teamwork we're going to see from the Mercedes here. We'll see if Rooney does have the better pace, the lawn will pull him up, or he'll let him go and push on to the leaders. Mag just picks up 3 seconds, not what he needed.
It looks like he's struggling in the dirty air, and he's going to send it up to Parabolica. He thinks better of it, and he's going to wait for the DRS.
Sorry to cut in there. Thron in the Alfa Romeo just lost the back end coming out of the Parabolica. I thought he was about to spin into the barriers. He's dropped back a little bit from the cars ahead, but that was a scary moment for the Alfa Romeo driver.
Celtic Speed as well has been closing up at the front, close enough on that lap. When we're going to pit, what was the predicted pit stop? What kind of lap we're thinking, Matt?
I reckon it can't be too far away at this point, maybe lap 11-ish.
He's going to get the move done. They're going to go wheel to wheel with the Ferrari. Oh, respect given there. And it's going to allow Rooney to attack his teammate into the Lesbo. He's not going to fight that one. Rooney up into position 6. Nice train of cars there.
Drazzy has lost that DRS to the guys ahead, so fortunately for Rooney, if he can get past Drazzy, he'll then be out of that DRS range and he'll be struggling, as I think Celtic has just made the move on Vettel.
Yeah, nice move, but he's going to come straight back under attack here as they approach the DRS again. Or is he going to duck into the pits? Good call. Celtic Speed in the box.
I have to assume then it'll be medium tyres going onto the Williams.
Here comes Rooney. He's going to go down the inside of the Ferrari as we come into turn 1. He's got the move done. Rooney now up into position 4. Remember, he pitted under that early safety car and he's put on the mediums. Maybe looking for a 2-stop. The Ferrari's looking to get that position back as soon as possible. And he's going to show him the outside is Rooney. The Ferrari's hanging on in there. Almost gets cut off. It's allowing Lawn to get on the back of him again.
No opportunity there for Lawn. He thought he could maybe have a try into the first Lesmo, with the Ferrari struggling on the exit of the chicane, but the Ferrari of Drazzy looks to get the move done. Back on Rooney, into the Scari. He's got the inside line, gets it done before the corner, and that's him back up into P4. Good move there from Drazzy. Rooney will have to lose even more time, although he's coming straight back at him.
Aki went wide. If he's lost it at Ascari, he's still running. But yeah, sorry to cut in that. There was a bit of a moment there for the McLaren driver. Into the pits comes the leader.
We'll see where Celtic comes out in comparison to Vettel then. Will the undercut pay off for the Williams driver?
Now this is for the lead of the Grand Prix. Drazzy Rooney. Who's going to get it? It's the Ferrari and the lead of the Italian Grand Prix here at Monza. You love to see it.
Danny Ants has binned it coming out of the second Lesmo. And that's a virtual safety car deployed. Try and see if there's no one near him. I don't think we're going to get to be able to see the wreckage of that crash. But RSF1 Vettel, who's now served the 5 seconds he received behind the safety car, has dropped behind Celtic and behind the Alfa Romeo for half 32. He'll have plenty of ground to make the race as we are racing once again. I think Rooney might be looking to Ascari while the Ferrari covers the inside, but nothing doing. Into Ascari, Rooney will have to wait for a later opportunity. Drazzy will probably pit in these next couple of laps. He's still on the softs that he started the race on. So we'll wait since Rooney just tuck behind here, get the DRS for the straight, and then let the Ferrari pull off into the pits. We'll see if the Ferrari does. Yes, indeed, Drazzy pits then. And I think, has K-Mag pitted as well? No, he hasn't. K-Mag, still on those softs that he started the race, is going to keep going. Yes, he's conserved those tyres, kept them alive well. Let's see where Drazzy comes out in a moment. He's just coming towards the pit exit.
So Stubbsy, after making his pit stop, is 9.3 seconds behind the lead of this Grand Prix now. But he's going to have that fresh rubber, and he should be slowly creeping on up towards Rooney. He's got 1, 2, 3 cars in between him and Rooney. Going to have to pull out some moves.
K-Mag just sits in behind Rooney then, just hoping, I guess, to have some DRS. He doesn't have that at the moment, although he is in the range now, using some overtake. But we're all just starting to settle down here at Monza. Gaps are starting to form, and it's becoming a bit more of a race of strategy now.
Yeah, so easy to pick up penalties, run a bit wide, you know, clip a bit of grass, bit of gravel, and end up in the bin. It's just about keeping it smooth and steady. That's what's going to win you the race right now.
Stubbsy picks up fastest lap of the race. He's pushing on those fresh mediums to catch the guys ahead.
Very good lap time of 21.8. The lap record was set by Rubens Barrichello in 2004, 1 minute 21.046. So we're not far off that right now.
When roughly would we be expecting medium runners in the top 3, the ones who pitted early on? If we do have to pit again, when would we be expecting them to come in?
Well, it depends what compound you're going to switch on to. If you're going to go medium, or if you're going to want to slap on a set of softs. As we've seen, the softs, they're good for about, you know, anywhere around 12, 13, maybe 14 laps late on in the Grand Prix with lower fuel. So any time from now, really, in the next couple of laps, you'd expect.
K-Mag into the pits. He started on the soft tyres. He's extended that stint quite well compared to his rivals. Have slightly front tyres, which should benefit him. He's going to the final. He's pitted for softs again. He has. That is an interesting call.
Although his tyres are feeling a bit second-hand, he had a bit of kick of oversteer on power there, and it's just knocked him out of the DRS of James in front of him. So he's going to have to use a bit of his battery, which he has. And he's crept on back into that magical 1 second window. Still your race leader, Rooney, on lap 14 of 27 here. Just over 50% race duration. He has a 3.8 second gap to James behind him. He's bringing Ludlow along to the party. Stubbsy though, he's just been eating into that gap in front of him. It was about 6 seconds when he come out of the box. It's now down to 2 seconds, and I think at the end of the next lap, if not before, he will be in the DRS of the battle for the podium.
Yeah, Stubbsy is lapping consistently in the high 21s. The guys ahead of him that are in the low 23s, high 22s, there's a massive pace advantage. Stubbsy right now, you can watch the gap coming down when they get to the corners. Ludlow looks to the inside, he has that DRS, choosing not to make any kind of dive bomb, probably the smart choice. Stubbsy, I think by the time they get round to the second Lesmo, he's going to be in that DRS range. We're getting ready to make a move as Weston sticks to the 3 second time penalty. He's currently outside the point, so that won't matter too much.
James in P2 picks up a 3 second penalty. And yeah, I think in the next DRS activation point, Stubbsy should have it available. Yeah, he's just crept in there. Oh, just before the detection point though. Ludlow is ever closer as we come up to Ascari.
Just starting to put the pressure onto that Red Bull then. He's probably seen Stubbsy closing up behind it, decided now is the time to attack, to get the move done. Alfa Romeo just pulled to that inside there before the corner, just trying to spot the braking point, I should imagine, but he's not got the greatest exit. And he's pulled into the pits. But Ludlow into the pits then after starting on medium tyres. Coming in for his one and only pit stop, you'd think.
Yeah, that's released Stubbsy. He's now in a podium position after leading the early phases of this Grand Prix. Of course, Rooney went for that alternate strat. Is he going to push the tyres to the end? That's going to be a huge ask on their mediums, a huge ask. Stubbsy now sees James up ahead of him. You can smell that P2 now. Purple sector 1 for the Racing Point driver.
K-Max just pitted again, and now he's gone onto the medium, so I think he perhaps made a little mistake there going onto the softs once again. But here comes Stubbsy on the run down towards the Ascari. He's got the DRS, overtaking Gage, and he will breeze past the Red Bull of James. He's up into P2 and can now chase after his championship rival, really.
Now needs to get his head down. The gap is 5.7 seconds to the lead of this Grand Prix. There's not any penalties that we know of, so it's going to be about winning this one on track. The leader is on 13 lap old tyres, Stubbsy on 4 lap. So yeah, about 9 laps difference here on the gap.
James will be hoping to do now then is just try and stay in the DRS of Stubbsy, just keep that within 1 second and just get carried essentially up to the cars ahead. The gap is already up to 9/10 though, so I think through this next sequence of corners Stubbsy will break the DRS and James will be no better off than he was just a few laps ago.
Stubbsy had a bit of a kick of oversteer then, he's pushing extra hard. And 5 seconds to the lead now. Rooney's probably got the message. He's going to be giving it everything at this point, but he's going to have to be careful on them second-hand tyres. It won't be good. It'll be past their sell-by date very, very soon.
We can be expecting him into the pit shortly. We'll see what he does at the end of this lap. He's going to continue on for at least one more time round the loop before making his pit stop, unless of course he can try and get those tyres to the end. I don't see it happening, but he might decide to give it a try.
Yeah, I don't think this is going to work too well because, I mean, it's about a 19-second delta you probably need for a pit stop around here, and that's going to drop him out in around position 6 after making that stop. He's going to have a lot of work to do, even if he's on the soft tyre. It's not going to be easy.
The tyre advantage at Mazda doesn't help you as much as it would at a track like Monaco, just because there's such few corners. There's less time, whether having a soft fresh compound can actually help you. I think that could cost Rooney here. He's slowly bringing down that gap. I think Stubbsy knows he doesn't need to push too hard, and as I say that, he does pick up a 3-second time penalty.
Commentator's curse, man. Commentator's curse.
Done it again.
Now you're going to see a more aggressive Stubbsy, that is for sure. And also he's got that monkey off his back. He knows he's got a penalty now, so he can take a few more risks in terms of track limits, and he's going to have to push. Scenario 7 now, and into the pits is Rooney. Soft tyres going on the Mercedes, and let's see where he comes back out.
Predicted him coming out in P6. We'll see how accurate that is. I think he is going to come out in P5. No, it is P6. Or is it? Might drop down to P7 because Trazzy's got him. Oh, that's not what Rooney wanted. He's got 6 places to make up if he wants to win this race, and he is 18 seconds off the lead. But he's looking to make that progress straight away. Going for it around the Curva Grande. He's got the inside for the chicane. I don't see the Ferrari putting any kind of fight here. And Rooney straight away back up to P6.
Nice move there for the man in P2 of the championship. He knows the leader has a 3-second penalty to serve, so he needs to keep it squeaky clean when he's overtaking these cars up ahead of him. And here we go, lap 19 of 27 for the Italian Grand Prix. And we've got a split strategy here. So Rooney's gone for the 2-stop. He's going to be set in purple sector times, which he has through purple. Oh! Rooney with a 3-second penalty.
Well, that puts a lot less stress on Stubbsy then. Now Rooney's matched him for penalties. Rooney is right on the back of his teammate here. He's got the DRS. Teammate will see if he holds him up at all here. I don't think he will. Rooney goes to the inside and drives straight past his teammate at Lawn and up into 5th place. And he'll set about chasing after RSF1 Vettel.
Playing the role of Valtteri Bottas there, being an excellent wingman, not making life difficult for his teammate, of course, on that softer compound. And another purple sector for Rooney. Should be on course for a fastest lap of the Grand Prix, and probably another point in the bag for him. And he's going to need every point he can. Currently a 6-point deficit to Stubbsy, who's leading this race. And Rooney sitting in P5. He's got 5 seconds to catch to the car ahead. And of course he has that 3 seconds as well to make up for. Not too sure, Matt, if the cars ahead of him have any penalties. Saying that, Vettel's just picked up 1, but do they have any more?
Have a look for penalties. So let's start off then with Stubbsy. That's 1 penalty. Celtic is none at the moment, but 1 warning away. The Alfa Romeo 3.5 has 1 penalty. Vettel has just the 1 penalty, and then Rooney himself just with that 3 seconds, so all fairly even up at the front here. Rooney does set fastest lap of the race. That will give him an extra championship point, which he's going to need if he wants to take down Stubbsy in the race. 6 laps to go then for Rooney. Gap to the leader has come down. It's 13.8 seconds now. Rooney is making up good time on the drivers ahead and Stubbsy in the lead. But it's one thing to catch these cars here, it is another to overtake. Should get the help of the DRS. It is not exactly difficult to overtake, but I feel like that gap is just going to be a bit too much. I don't think he's going to have that pace that he would need to win here.
Yeah, he's probably going to run out of laps towards the end of the Grand Prix here, and just wish he had a few more. You never know, it could come down to the final lap or who's going to treat them tyres as well as possible. And we've got Drazzy creeping on up to the back of Lawn. He might be in shooting range come the end of the main straight here. Got a long run down. We're going to have DRS enabled on the back of this Scarlet Ferrari. We're on our home turf. That's going to give us a few more attempts. So we're going to go to the inside. We're going to get stopped under brakes. They both lock up a little bit. Ferrari gets on the power nicer. We have a straight drag race here around the Curva Grande.
As he then does get up the inside of Lawn, puts himself up into P6 ahead of the Tifosi. They both get really out of shape there on the exit of the second chicane. But it is Drazzy ahead of the Mercedes.
In the next battle, it looks like Vettel and Fawn in the battle for the final podium slot here. And Vettel is sliding right up to the gearbox of the Alfa Romeo up ahead of him.
Got the DRS. Not got much battery, but he doesn't need it. A little tap on his way through, but that is RSF1 Vettel up into P3. He can now set his sights on IRL Celtic. It's gone back down the inside of Drazzy. He's got the move done.
It's going to be a ding-dong all the way to the end of the Grand Prix, I think. And Rooney is not far away from the battle that we were just looking at. He's going to be within DRS come the back straight. He's going to need to get it done the first time if he's got any chance of competing or even getting anywhere close to the front of the order now, with only a few laps to go here at the Italian Grand Prix.
And the overtake for Rooney is going to be made even harder by the fact that the Alfa Romeo ahead of him is in DRS range of Vettel. I'm just saying that, it's a bad run for Ascari and the gap increases, but it is still within that second, so DRS will be available for both front half and Rooney, although Rooney has already sent one to the inside into the Parabolica, can't get it done, but he's now right up behind the Alfa. Can he get the move done on the main straight? Tucks back into the slipstream, opens the DRS. Overtake engaged, he's got the inside for the chicane. But I don't think he's going to need to outbrake him. He's got the move done before they get there. And he is up now into P4. One place away from the podium.
Drazzy's had an off. He slipped back to position 8. Maybe some contacts. Maybe a break of traction. Not quite sure what's happened there, but disappointing to see for the home man.
Exactly what happened. He's bottled it. Bottled it in the Parabolica. It's not. See what his tyre age is. He's not got the oldest tyres out there. That might put a bit of pressure on Stubbsy and those leaders on their old mediums. Perhaps struggling for rear traction now in this late phase of the Grand Prix. Those mediums definitely not going to be feeling too hot anymore.
Here comes Rooney. You can see the podium. He's all over the back of Vettel. Is he going to send it into Parabolica or is he going to wait for the DRS? Doesn't look like he's a man about to wait around. And he's a good slingshot here to get onto the back of Celtic Speed, who's a further 2 seconds up the road. And he's pulled out nice and early. DRS now in activation. He's going to be like taking candy from a baby. And Rooney up into position 3. Stubbsy up at the front of the order. He's just been keeping it smooth and steady.
Rooney is still 10 seconds away from that race lead. I don't think he's got any chance of taking that here, but P2 is definitely still up for grabs. Celtic speed just ahead of the Mercedes on much older medium tyres. I think he'll struggle to keep Rooney behind.
The contenders for driver of the day. Craig Ludlow, he's made up 4 positions in the Grand Prix. I mean, Rooney, he's really had to put some moves on. I'll put him up there as well. Anyone else that you think you should throw their hat in there? The driver of the day, my friend?
I think Stubbsy's done a fantastic job just managing this one. He's not had to do anything special out of the ordinary. He's just had to keep it clean, keep it together. And he's done that really well. And he's got a 10-second advantage over the cars behind. Speaking of the cars behind, Rooney is very close to the back of the Williams. Can't get the move done into turn 1. We'll have to wait for a better opportunity as K-Mag picks up 3 seconds. Rooney gives it a little touch of overtake down the inside of the Cover Grande. And he's got this one done before they reach the second chicane. Rooney up to P2.
So I think it's going to be a day late and $1 short though, because we're on the penultimate lap of the Grand Prix now, and Stubbsy just needs to keep it smooth, steady and bring it to the flag. And it's going to be a mountain to climb for Rooney this late on in the Grand Prix.
Just 1 lap to go then for Stubbsy. Just needs to hold on for 1 more time. 1 more lap at the front. Everything seems to have calmed down once again down the order. I don't think anyone is in DRS range of the car ahead, which is unfortunate. I don't think we're going to get that photo finish at Monza. Drazzy's just gone purple in the first sector. He's looking to take that fastest lap away from, I think, Rooney at the moment. Yes, he does. It's the 20.7 that Drazzy will have to beat, and we'll see if he can do that in the closing stages.
As we're on the last lap of the Grand Prix, I mean, Stubbsy, he's kept it consistent. He's made the right strategy calls. You know, he didn't pit under that first safety car. He's played the long game. He stuck to his strategy, and it looks like it's going to pay off here for the Racing Point driver, currently with a 9.3 second advantage over Rooney here, and also coming into this Grand Prix a 6-point advantage over him. He's going to extend that advantage by another 6 points, as we think Rooney, Drazzy picks up fastest lap, but I don't think he'll get the point as he's outside the top 10, so it should go for the man in P2. But once again, he's been impeccable. He's made the right decisions, the right call at the right time. He dominated pole position. He got into the 17.9, and yeah, credit where it's due. Stubbsy takes the win here at the Italian Grand Prix. The Racing Point will take the top step. Rooney's going to come around Parabolica to take home P2 in the race and hold on to it in the championship as well. And a very nice drive for Celtic Speed, not too far off. Is he going to jump him? No, he had a penalty as well. And it finished 4.5. Vettel crosses the line. We've got the sister Mercedes taking home P6. James is going to take P7. Ludlow P8. And the final points are going to go to Aki. And K-Mag will grab their solidarity point there at the back of the order. A good race as always, Matt. You enjoyed that one?
I enjoyed that. Good drive from Stubbsy to hold on strong, take the victory. Rooney did well coming through the field after that early pit stop, and you'd have to say, if you're Rooney, after taking the lead at turn 1, you'd have to be kicking yourself after making that early pit stop, because it's not paid off. He finished 10 seconds away from the race win.
He tried something different. It would have paid off if there was maybe another safety car later on in the Grand Prix. Maybe he was, trying to, hold on for something, some sort of drama to go on late in the Grand Prix, but it didn't come to him. And credit where it's due to Stubbsy, making the right call at the right time. But this has been Republic of Motorsport, the Italian Grand Prix. The next round coming up will be Singapore. That one will definitely be a corker. It's 4:30 every Sunday. Is the Republic of Motorsport, so don't miss out. Make sure you subscribe to the YouTube channel, make sure you follow us on Twitch as well, and we hope to join you next week for another Republic of Motorsport Grand Prix. But it's that man Stubbsy yet again. Oh, we didn't even get the final classifications, did you there, Matt? I hope someone did.
I think I saw them. I didn't screenshot them. If somebody was streaming, Stubbsy normally streams. Hopefully he got it.
For mine, it was just loading.
Oh dear.
Right.
Not what you need to see.
Let's see if Stubbs wants a quick chat. Rooney. Hello, sir. Include your audio. We're still streaming at the minute. We just want your thoughts after the Italian Grand Prix, and what was the thought process? Boxing under the safety car there. What was you hoping for?
I was hoping for possibly another safety car, the mediums, to work a little bit better than they did versus aging softs, but didn't get it. I don't think it was the right strategy really in the end. I think I had the pace challenge for the win, but whether I would have got it or not is a different story.
Yeah, great opening lap there when you sent it, and you must have thought you had it in the bag, so we was quite surprised to see you surrender the lead of the Grand Prix. Well, some great overtakes from you.
Yeah, it was a fun race, but I just thought the softs would die out quicker than they actually did. So from doing the practice, obviously I have a bit worse tyre wear than the others, so and that's been my setup. But yeah.
Yeah, well, it was a fun one to commentate on. Thank you for putting on a good show as always, and we'll catch you next week, my friend.
Yes. Nice one.
Any final remarks, Mr. Connerbeer?
No, I think we're all good.
Who? Yeah. It's good showing for him. Hi, Selwick. Make sure you include your audio, my friend. A great podium for you today. How was your Grand Prix?
It was kind of quiet. Not much wheel-to-wheel action, but just tried to keep the gap to the boys behind. Didn't have a great restart after the safety car. But other than that, yeah, it was pretty good. Pushed on the last lap behind Ben just to get a 3-second gap to the guys behind, just in case there was any penalties. And be happy with the podium.
Yeah, cracking job for you. Good to see you back up there tasting the champagne. Let's try and get Stubbsy, and he just said he wants an invite to the party. There we go, got there in the end. Here he is, the race victor, ABR Stubbsy. Huge dub here today, smashed it in qualifying, made the right strategy calls. How was it for you, sir?
Yeah, unreal quali. Could have had a start, but I was quite surprised when I saw Rooney going into the pits, because I just thought it was one of them things that you just don't do when it's off the mediums, as you just lose time. Especially Italy. It's easy to pass, but it's easy to get caught up and stuff as well, which I wanted to avoid. And yeah, pretty boring race. Win's a win, doesn't matter how you get them.
Yeah, he showed Lancey Boy Stroll how to do it today, convert that pole position. And yeah, we had our heart in our mouths when you picked up that 3-second penalty. We thought you threw it away, but it was comfortable in the end for you.
Yeah.
So that will be it for today. Stubbsy extends his advantage in the Republic of Motorsport Championship by another 6 points, I do believe, as we head into the Singapore Grand Prix. Who fancies the dub around there, boys?
Not me. I'll try though.
I'll be working. Won't be me.
I'll have
Give it my best shot.
Hopefully not bottle it.
Well, catch us then, 4:30 every week, every Sunday, for another Republic of Motorsport Grand Prix. Thank you all for tuning in. Make sure to give a follow to the YouTube ROM F1 official accounts on the Twitch and also across on the YouTube channel. It's been a pleasure to commentate on this once again, and I hope to see you again next week. Take care, boys. Thanks for watching. Bye-bye.